We'll start the session in 1 minute, sharp at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. All right, it's time to start our session. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session. Before I jump into the topic, I would like to quickly talk about our additional resources. We have our community articles available for VA, NLU, and Agent Chat, AWA, and Sidebar. We also have our YouTube channel. All these academy sessions that we do, after the session, I will record and post it into these YouTube channels. So which means whenever you want, you can always go back and revisit and watch these academy sessions. So please do subscribe our academy session. It's a Conversational Interfaces Academy in the ServiceNow community. If anybody has any questions during this session, please do post it in Q&A. At the very end, I'll be leaving 5 minutes for Q&A, and we can also go through the list and try to answer to your questions. So today's topic is connect your users to your agents through SMS channels. So I have here Marc, Lehwald, who is our advisory solution consultant for customer workflows. So he's been doing a demo for a few customers on this very particular topic. So we thought it'll be very much useful for other customers to understand what steps that's involved for setting up the SMS channels and allow your users to interact with agents. So here is a quick agenda. As usual, there'll be an overview about the use case, and then we do a demo, and then we also walk through the configuration steps that you need to get this SMS channel set up. And at the very end, I'll be leaving 5 minutes for Q&A. With that said, here is a use case. So let's say you have a requester who is using SMS and wants to connect with an agent. So you can activate this SMS channel and have your configuration set up. You can use with virtual agent or without virtual agent. So the requester use a phone number for the SMS channel and send a message to an agent. Whenever a new message enters for the agent, it does goes to agent inbox, and agent has to accept and reject. If agent accepts, then it gets added into their agent chat panel where they can chat back with the requesters. All the messages that they're seeing in the agent chat is still the same experience for the agent being in their agent workspace. So we also have an ongoing conversation menu. So any new request that's coming as an SMS or even the chat or any type of service channels that's coming, all the requests will first go into the agent's inbox. And once the agent accepts, if it is an SMS channel, an SMS conversation, because these SMS conversations can be an ongoing conversation. So that's why all those SMS channels will come into the menu ongoing conversations so that customers can just go and look at the list and start interacting with them as an ongoing process. Marc will be doing a live demo, and he will also show you how this particular menu helps agents to keep an eye on all those ongoing SMS conversations. And then let's say agent on the other side, there's an chat came from a requester, and after a day or so, there's no communication from the requester is happening. So an agent just looked at it and she wants to follow up with the requester, so they can also initiate a conversation through SMS by composing a message, selecting the channel, and selecting the SMS that's been configured, and then find the phone number to phone number after requester and send a message. So the agents can send files, and they can also send the KB articles and any of the incidents or any cases that they have created, they can send those links as well. With that said, I'm handing over to Marc to show a demo for all these capabilities. Over to you, Marc.
Thank you very much. So what we're going to do is we're first going to start out and just give you a quick demo of doing the actual SMS text into the system. So what I need to do, the first thing that we need to do is we need to go in and make ourselves available in the inbox. Now, when we make ourselves available, we are setting up these channels. So SMS, we've got WhatsApp, phone calls, chat, cases, etc. And this utilizes the advanced work assignment area here as well. So at this point, we're going to also take a look at the main area here. So this is a configurable dashboard that the agent can go and look at active cases, look at important items, etc., and any team cases that come in as well. So going to actually get them to send the chat, write the SMS, and we're just waiting for this to come in. I have a colleague who is actually sending that across. What I'm going to do is while I'm waiting for that one, it actually says it is coming through. What we can do is we can, oh, there we go. So you sent this SMS in, and it's gone through the advanced work assignment routing. And from here, it already knows who the customer is within our database. If it is not in the database, it will add a new record within the database through our workflows that are built on our back end. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to accept that particular chat, and then we're going to go in and start asking some questions. Now, you can obviously type in, and we've got a list here saying that he needs some information regarding his bank account. Well, in this case here, in order to verify who he is, we are going to need some additional information in order to get that bank account information. So I've sent out a message through the SMS to say, can you please provide me with some of this information? And what we're going to do is we are going to have him send in proof of his account. So we're just waiting for that to come in. Now, while we wait for that, we do have a lot of different what we call quick actions within this drop-down menu. So within this drop-down menu, we have things where we can transfer to a queue, transfer to an agent, do some searches, do response templates, and autopilot. And we'll touch on it, a few of these things. So we're still waiting, and there's that proof of the account information, which then I can take a look at, verify everything is good. And in this case here, I can actually go in and select one of these. And I'm just going to say, may I put you on hold for a minute while I check this. And then we also have the ability to then say, okay, we've come back, we've verified what the account information is, and we've provided that to him. Now, if that's kind of the first scenario where we've given him that information. We've also verified, so we can mark it as verified and save this particular record. And I'm just going to call this one incoming. And save that. And now at this point, there's going to be another question that comes in. And let's wait for that. Oh, and there we go. And in this case, he wants to add a new authorized contact. So this is where we would actually use our autopilot. So the autopilot feature, what this allows us to do is to switch it back from a live agent to a virtual agent. So in this case here, I want to add a contact, and I'm going to send this out. What this is actually going to do is it's now gone into auto, and this is now sent the information to SMS, asking a variety of questions, and I'm not touching the mouse or keyboard at all. And he is going to start entering in a variety of different information. Okay, I'm not sure if he's having any technical issues on his side. I think he may have a technical issue on his side because it's not pulling up any of his information. Oh, there it is. It just took a while for the system to go in. So it's gone through and it's actually asked all of these questions. So what's the first name is Kyle, what's the last name? And all of this was done via the virtual assistant. And he's entered the mobile number, and we now have a new contact that has been created, and now it's back over to a live agent. And from this point here, we've actually finished off of the information, and I'm actually just going to go back over to my quick responses and say thank you for contacting support, and now they would log off. Now, one of the other things too is we have the ability to do the public chat, which you've been seeing. We also have the ability to do private chats internally. We can transfer that to another agent. We can go in here and transfer it to another queue. So if it got rerouted for some problem, and it wasn't the right queue, we can transfer that to the correct queue. Obviously, we can add attachments both bidirectionally, both ways. And then we also have the ability to do dynamic translation. So if you turn this on and the person sending the text message is speaking Spanish or French or any other language, and the agent is English, what it'll do is it'll automatically translate that back into the language. And when the English agent types something in and sends it back, it will transfer across over to the requester with their appropriate language there. So that's the kind of first use case that we wanted to cover. So I'm going to end this conversation here. And the next conversation that I wanted to do was doing an incoming simulated phone call. One other thing that I will point out is that you can see that we have the internal transcript of everything that went on that was adjusted and added to that particular record. So moving forward, everybody will be able to see exactly what was there. We have a full list of all the customer information. And this not only is just their contact, but also any cases, recent transactions, phone calls, etc. So we can see a variety of different things that they've done. So a 360-degree view. And then we can also see all of their activity. And their activity is not just with SMS and cases and things like that, but it's also, if they've been visiting the web portal and have been looking at articles, etc. So while this comes up, I'm going to actually initiate a phone call. And here we go here. So you can see there's the interactions, if we've got any portal activity, have they done any recent searches, etc. So, and again, this is all configurable. It's not customized code at all. It's all done through configurations at the business level. Now, let's simulate an incoming phone call. So in this case here, we have, here we go. This incoming phone call is from Julie. And let's close off this window right here. And so it already knows who she is from her phone number, and it's pulled that information in. Now, in this case here, the phone call comes in and says, yeah, I need to verify some information again on my account. If the call came in through a call instead, we can actually go under compose a message. And from here, we've got a variety of different things that we can do. So in this case here, I'm going to do POA. Right. Account. And I can select which number. So there is a variety of different phone numbers that they have access to. And my computer is running a little slow today. And there is the phone number that is going to go to, and I can send that SMS across. Now that SMS is going to come across. And then we have the interaction record. Now, when we open up the interaction record, this one here, once it pulls up, is the same view that you had with the SMS record before. It's just taking a little bit of time to come up. A little bit of issue here. Why this is still not pulling up. Oh, there we go. So there's that interaction record that's coming up. And then from here, we can see that we have the exact same window here. And from this case here, please provide proof of account. So from this one here, okay, I'm gonna send a message back across. And we will send this across and see how long that takes for it to come through. So that text message has been sent, and which should show up here. Again, we still have the same ability to do what we did last time, where we have our quick actions. The same thing, again, fully configurable for you. And the image should pull up here in a minute. We've got about 10 minutes left, so I want to go through some of the configuration stuff. I'll leave the screen and we'll come back to it. Sorry, I'm just getting over a cold. So let's go over to the screen here. And from here, we have a variety of different windows. Now, some of the things that we need to do, first of all, these are the required plugins that you want to install within the system. So very easy to add in your plugins. You can actually just go under the plugins section, just type in SMS. It'll give you a list, and then you can install them, or you can download those from the store. So very easy to add those into the system. Then when you're setting up the SMS, you need to do a variety of different things. So you need to, first of all, set up a Twilio account. It will work with other providers other than Twilio, but for this demo, we're actually using Twilio. So what it's going to do is once you set up the account, it's going to give you an account SID, an authentication token, and the phone number that you're going to be using. From this phone number, we can see the active phone number, and we can also see which services we've got it on voice and messaging. And then from here, we have our webhook, and that is the webhook that you will assign within the configuration space of ServiceNow within the particular instance. And then from here, you can get and create any additional API keys and tokens, credentials, and apps through these areas here. And this is all done through Twilio. Now, when you're setting up the SMS channel in the instance, in the ServiceNow instance, there's three main steps that we need to do. We need to go set up the channel. We need to make sure that the contacts and personas have everything enabled within the list, and then we would set up any of the other information. So let me go through. I've got screenshots of this, but I'm actually going to show you live what these are. So from within here, we've got the first thing is our provider channel SMS. So this is where we've actually set up the adapter for the particular phone number that we're using, what phone number, what method authentication are we using. Very simple to set these up. There's only really two required fields that are needed. The system will set up everything else for you. Now, from the AWA area, what we can do is we can actually go in and set up, in this case here, we need to set up our credentials first of all. So if we go into our credentials, we can see that we've got our messaging. And when we go in here, this is where we actually look at that SID ID number, and the password is going to be the token number. So once you have those information, you go in, there'll be a button that says connect, and that connection will then verify that it is correct. And once it is, it becomes an active connection. Once that piece is done, then you just very easily go in and set up your aliases. And again, we have two different ones set up here. So if I take a look at my Twilio base versus Twilio messaging, again, very simple to set these things up. And we set up the connection. If there is not a connection here, it gives you the ability to add a new one. And that connection, I'll just open the existing one so we can see what's there. And that connection, again, it's just the SID number, the URL that we saw from the Twilio piece of it. So you just gather the information from Twilio and populate it here, and that creates that link to those other areas. Now, once you've done all of those things here, whenever you go in and you set up a phone number in here, if you say that they have access to the SMS or WhatsApp channel as an example, then it will be listed within this user channel's profile. You don't have to do anything. It'll automatically add it in here. If there is one that doesn't show up and you do want to add them, you don't have to go to the contact. You can actually just go to new and do that from within the system. And it's very easy just to select or create a new one. And when you create a new one, which channel are they looking for? What type is it? And that is pretty much an enable notifications. And that's pretty much the only thing that you need to set up for it, for these particular ones. And it'll look at the phone number associated with that contact in order to go through. And here's the notification for Julie Lewis saying that it was enabled. If this is not enabled, you will not be able to go through and do that. So once we get all of that stuff, then it's a matter of setting up the advanced work assignment. And again, it's a very easy wizard-driven way of doing it, where you would actually just go under and set up your service channel. And I've already got these open just to make it easy to quicker. So we've got the SMS channel with a short description. We can put in conditions saying only fire if this condition is met. And then we also have some additional queues. Now the queues down here, if the queue does not exist, then that's where you would actually go under your queues area and create a new queue for you to use. And if we open this particular one up here, which is an existing queue, we've got our agent SMS queue, and we actually added in some scripting, but you don't need to. It's all, if you want to use simple conditioning, you can just actually choose a drop-down, pick a keyword, do an operator. So very, very simple to set these things up. And then once you're doing that, then you would actually set up the assignment rules. And if we go back over to this, there's the setup queues, which will bring you to that queues. And if I actually select on this one, you'll see we have a variety of different queues in here. I parsed it down just because there were a lot in there. And then the assignment rules is the one that is right here. And this is where you actually go through, how do we want to handle these assignments? Is it most capacity? Is it last assigned? Do we want to, how do we want to handle rejections after a certain amount of time? what is the status that we want to put them in, is there skills enabled? You can set up skills, and then your shift handling if you have shifts for this as well. So again, it's very simple to set all of this stuff up in a very wizard-driven manner. Then we can actually go in here and do additional things. If we have a rejection region, maybe we have present state, so we said make ourselves available, and you can make available for a variety of different things. So in this case here, we've got for CSM agents, this one is for complaints and onboarding agents. So you can set up multiple ones so that when you are actually in, and there you can see this finally did come through, once you go into this availability in here, this is where you would set up, you know, are you on break, on call, away, et cetera, in your different items from that particular one here. As I go through my list here, at the end here, that is pretty much all of the setup that is required in order to get all of this up and running. Again, you just have to create that Twilio account first, or whatever third-party integrator you're using for your SMS, get that SID number, get your token, and then from there, just go through these steps that will walk you through and set those things up, and then it will work within the system. So I will stop sharing there and hand it back over to Sammy.
Thank you, Marc. Thanks for all those details. We got quite a number of questions, so I will read one by one, and then you can answer for those questions. So the first one goes, outbound SMS truncates, maximum character is 160. Is there a way around this? Also, is there a way to send the record number as a link via SMS?
Yes, you could send the record number. We can do merge fields, so we can pull up and within a workflow in the background, when an interaction record is created, we can then automate that. So that can be done there. The 160 character limit, I'm not 100% sure if we can get around that just yet. So I will find out on that particular one.
And the next question, is dynamic translation supported with the Twilio integration?
Yeah, the dynamic translation is actually done in the ServiceNow instance. So it's not actually done from the Twilio side of things. So it should be working within that, yes.
Thank you. The next question, where do you set up SMS to show under available?
Where do I show SMS to show which? Under
available. I think this might be for the agent inbox, how you have defined showing different options for
yeah, so these are the supported channels that you would specify within. So I'm logged in as an agent, so I would say that this agent has the ability to do SMS, WhatsApp, chat, etc. They also have the presence, so that you saw when we went over to the, I think it was right, the present states. So basically what you would do is you would say, okay, so this is the available state, and then these
Marc, can you share your screen?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so let me just go back over to this. So the present states, when you set that up, so let's just go back over to let's see, I don't know if I have a shortcut for it. I don't. So let me just go under here. So advanced work assignment present states. When I go into the present states, you can see I've got a variety of different available. So under the available is where I would set up the different service channels that are available, who's with the groups, what group they are, or if I have an individual agent, I can set that up here as well.
Thank you, Marc.
That's where you set that up.
The next question, incoming and outgoing calls are supported?
Yes.
Perfect. Do we need license for SMS plugin?
The SMS plugin, I believe, comes with the Pro licensing. So we just need to verify which license you have, but it is included with I believe it is the Pro license that it's included.
Is Twilio an additional subscription?
I'm sorry?
Is Twilio an additional subscription?
Yeah, so the third-party integrator for that, we don't do everything with internally. We do a connection to these SMS third parties, Twilio as an example. So yes, you would need to set up them, and they will and set up the phone number, get all of the SID numbers and everything, and that is something that you would have to do on your end.
And here is the next question from Mike. With SMS Twilio connection, which we use Twilio for on-call, do we need to make it very clear that if the agent is not in the country, the Twilio number is set up, in example, USA to India, that the SMS will more than likely not work?
I have done testing with it being in Europe, and it works fine. I've been able to do it across the pond, so it should work regardless. I've done testing with it, so I know it works using a UK number. So I would think that India would be the same.
Okay. We have another question from Julian. Any restrictions or additional configuration required for international numbers and or carriers?
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe on the Twilio side, but I've never had to do any of that. And like I said, I've done testing with the UK, and I've never had to go through any hoops in order to get that to work. It's all been the standard stuff that I showed you today. So unless there's something on the Twilio side that they require you to do, maybe check a box or, pay an additional fee or something, I don't know from that side, because that's on the Twilio side. But from the ServiceNow side, no, you should be fine.
Another question from Mitch. Will this create on OAuth token the same way Teams chats do?
I believe it does. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to create that auth token or if you have to manually create it. But I believe it automatically does it for you. I'm not 100% sure.
Thank you, Marc. We have one last question here from Osni. Agent Chat or AWA is great and have loads of cool features. However, with introduction of these features and Connect support being deprecated, ServiceNow removed the ability for agents to pull chats, but have chats auto-assigned to them. Several businesses have used the Connect support heavily and now are struggling to move to Polaris just because the pull feature has been removed. Question, is there any way or alternate to have the same feature of pull incorporated in Agent Chat and AWA? So Marc, I'll take this question. So we do have an option assigned to me. That's a capability for the agents who can manually go and look at the chats list. If it is not assigned to any agent, they can just click on it and click on assign to me and start work on it. I understand many customers were using Connect support, and moving on to agent chat is a new experience. But there are capabilities available for agent chats, which does support the way you're looking for based on this question. If you have not found the details, you can reach out to your solution consultant or account executives and ask them for the more details. You can also raise a support ticket on this particular one so that our support team will help you. With that said, I'm going to end the session. Thank you everyone for staying till till now and posting all the great questions. See you all soon in our next upcoming Academy session. Thank you.
Thank you.